Well, lads, how's y'all doing? And welcome back to the Boosh channel. Listen, I know, I've done a video like this time and time again. The last video was the same. This video is going to be the same. I get it. Listen, the fact I haven't uploaded in a month, right? It looks really bad. Yes, I know. But I actually have decent enough excuses. And to be fully honest, I've just been busy. And that's kind of the best way I can put it. I've just been busy. And I've just not got around to doing these videos at all. The same with my YouTube and stuff like that. I've just been fucking busy, man. Like with everything else, I've been going into a full crisis mode as of recent, so that's probably as well why I haven't really, took the Boosh channel really on board in the past month, that I've kind of put it to the back of my head. But listen, we're back. It's not too bad. Listen, I can't keep any promises that I 100% can keep this shit constant and have no hiccups for the rest of the year, but listen, you can take at least one of these videos at least like every 1 or 2 weeks. I mean, listen, I'm gonna try and strive for one every week, but yeah, I mean, I've been really off schedule with this. But listen, we're getting a little bit off topic. If you've seen the title, yeah, it's true, right? No, before any of you start thinking, no, it's not terminal, no, I'm not fucking dying, and no, I don't have to give my Boost channel over to the likes of Loaded Buggy, or Calling Me Crazy, or God for fucking Bid Ellie Fawn. Huh. I don't appreciate that she's got more subs than me. But listen, that's not what we're talking about today. We're going to be chatting about the first time in my life I've been diagnosed. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I know. As much as I like to come across as someone who's just so pitch perfect, handsome and sexy and such a successful guy, I mean, it's a wonder that God, he's actually been diagnosed with something. What? I mean, some people have speculated I've been diagnosed with the likes of too big a dick. That is a medical condition I do have, right? But that's a different diagnosis. This is an actual, genuine diagnosis, right? And lads, ladies and gentlemen, I know. Listen, I was diagnosed with anxiety. I fucking know. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. As much as a man like me, I go on like I'm so hip and fucking happening. Apparently, my body isn't, right? And let's just take this all the way back, right? So when did it start, and how did I know that I had it? Well, it's very simple. Back in October, right? I was hip and happening for the past 21 fucking years of my life, and I was fine, right? Everything was fine. And it came to October, right? And around that time, I had left my job. I left my part-time job. I was working in a shop, and I decided to go pursue, my own work, right? And it was doing great. It was doing great off the start. Around that time as well, I was finally starting to drive. I was finally on the road legally, of course. And I feel like that's kind of whenever it started, right? And it was fine. And especially whenever I started off my business, I had money in the likes of the stock market and all that kind of stuff, right? And just also, before I continue, I fucking hate discussing my finances, and I really fucking hate it. So this is really pushing me to fucking say this shit, right? But let's just continue, right? Basically, around October time, I was going well. I was happy. My work was starting to take off. For some context, I had money in the stock market, and I thought that I had all this money. Everything was going great. Everything was going beautiful, right? Then in October, the stock market said it nearly die, and the amount of fucking money I lost, evaporated in front of my fucking eyes, right? I still think about this shit to this day, because all I think about is the fact that why didn't I take it out sooner? Why am I so fucking stupid? Why am I so stupid? I should have took that shit out, right? And to be fair, I also look at the other part of it and I think, how was I meant to predict that? How the fuck, unless I was an insider trader, how the hell was I meant to predict that, right? But listen, we're just going to move on from this, right? Because listen, obviously that happened, right? And then the same happened in May, right? So that just added on to it, right? But that was one reason that I started getting a little bit, weird. And whenever I mean a little bit weird, right? The pressure of obviously being like working for myself, and then the pressure of me starting to learn how to drive and all this kind of shit, right? Mentally, I think nothing's wrong, right? I'm quite calm, I'm quite collected. Mentally, I'm fine, right? But my body has a different issue. I don't know what the fuck it is, right? So it started happening back in October, or even this is November time. whenever I started going out on a drive, this has never happened to me before. I was starting to drive, or sometimes I was doing my work, right? And all of a sudden, it would just come on, right? So I'd be sitting there, I'd be driving, and then all of a sudden, my heart starts racing, right? And I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck's happening? So my heart starts racing. Then my body starts like, I just start feeling weak, and then I start feeling numb, and then my body starts shaking, and then I'm like, what the fuck is happening? So then what I have to do then is I have to physically pull over. I have to physically pull the car over and sit and just wait and see what happens, right? And I was like, oh my god, is this the end? Is this the fucking end of the Bosch lineage? You know, is this the end? It ends on me in a fucking having a heart attack outside a car, right? So I genuinely thought I was going to die, right? Because bear in mind, I haven't experienced anything like this before, right? And I thought, fuck, maybe it's the fact that I'm drinking too much caffeine and shit. Oh god, maybe this is the end. Oh god, I shouldn't have drank them fucking Cokes, shouldn't have drank them coffees. But then what happened was it fucked off. It took 10 minutes. I sat down, and then it just went. And then I was like, what the fuck was that? So it scared the shit out of me. It scared the crap out of me, right? So anyways, got back in the car, drove on, grand, right? And I was fine. But it wasn't just that time. That was the start of it. It happened at work. It did the exact same thing. I was like, what the fuck's happening? I thought that I was going to die. Then I'm fine after like 20 minutes. And then it did it again and again and again. And it kept happening since November time. Now, the only time that it didn't happen was whenever I either wasn't working or I wasn't driving. I don't know what it was. If I was sitting playing a game, I'd be fine. But I noticed that it specifically came on even a lot more whenever I was drinking the likes of coffee or having a Coke. If I had a coffee or Coke before I was driving, I was never going to be able to drive, because every time I would drive consistently after drinking a coffee, it would come on, then I'd have to pull over, and then I would have to just wait it out, right? And I feel like, and this is my thoughts on it, right? This shit just kept happening. And then whenever it kept happening, then around this time as well, it was kind of making me a little bit nervous, because I was like, what the fuck's actually wrong with me? I went to the doctors, they said I'm fine, my bloods are fine, my heart's fine, all this shit's fine. So what gives? What the fuck was the problem? So basically then, this kept going on. And I'm telling you now, this was a little bit of a bad period for me, because I went from all this money then to losing a lot of it, and then I built it up again, right? All this money I was building back up from obviously the stock market going a little bit fucking under, and then my work was doing decent, and then it happened again. But whenever the stock market went down this time, I lost more, right? And I had to build it up again. But around that time as well, my work started getting really fucking slow. And I think when I knew, rightfully in my mind, that this shit started going really slow, and maybe I was starting to doubt myself, I started thinking, is what I'm doing really something that is actually, like, can I actually make money off this? And I don't know what it was. It's just, my work was slow. I was making no money. I was actually losing money because of the stock market and all that kind of bullshit. And that's when it got really worse. I was fucking terrible. And bear in mind, I still didn't know what was wrong with me, right? Because in my mind, mentally, I'm thinking, there's no way, right? Because mentally, I don't think I'm stressed. I don't think I have anxiety. I don't think I have problems. And mentally, I'm fine. I'm calm. But my body is like, it's just shaking. It's like, it is not okay. My body is not fucking okay. Like, my stomach feels like it's throbbing. I feel like I'm gonna have a heart attack. I'm worried, right? I'm worried. And my parents were worried, right? Of course. And even my girlfriend's worried. And just, it's like, what was wrong? So, turns out, obviously, we went to get checked again. But this time, they obviously took my blood. I'm terrified of getting, by the way, for your interest, right? Terrified of syringes. So, that just came on even more, and it was even more blah, 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 whatever, right? But they took my blood, reluctantly as they did, and they basically came back. That was fine. But this time, they were like asking me obviously more questions, stuff like that, and it was on the relation of like mental. So I was like, okay, I was asking the questions, and they were like, okay, well, how do you feel? What is exactly wrong with you? Like what the fuck do you feel? So I was like, oh, I feel like my heart's gonna I feel like I'm gonna have a heart attack. I'm shaking, my stomach's throbbing, I feel warm whenever it happens, and then I physically feel like I'm gonna pass out. And then they said, oh, well, we've checked this blood and all that, it's clearly not. So they think it was anxiety. And I was like, fuck off. It's not anxiety. What am I a pussy? I'm not terrified of driving. I'm not terrified of this shit. This shit doesn't bother me. But that's how I thought mentally. My body, right? My mentality, my body were like not communicating at all. My mental was like living in paradise. We were like, right, this is fine. I'm living La Vida fucking Loca. We're okay. But my body was losing its shit, right? My body was fucking losing its shit. So basically, went over to the doctors, all that kind of shit. And basically, I got a nice call one Saturday morning by a woman in the doctors basically saying, yeah, what it seems like to me is that you more or less have anxiety, right? And she says it's caused by the likes of like stress, and it's mainly stress, right? It's mainly stress, right? And she thinks that the stress was caused by obviously the fact that it started around the time that I left my job. I was doing my own work, and I was starting to learn how to drive, and then I obviously had finance issues and all that shit, right? But I actually kind of clocked that. I was like, maybe she's fucking right, because I have not been okay. I have not been okay since October, right? No, mentally I've been fine. Body just hasn't, right? So then whenever I found that out, I was just like, yes! Yes! I can apply. I can try and apply for like I don't know if like you can apply for like disability or something with this. I was kind of hoping for that, but turns out I can't, because it's not technically like a life form thing. So I was like, fuck. But it's fine, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of glad that it's not anything worse. I thought that I was gonna have heart problems. I thought, fuck, this is the end of me within the next 10 years. The Boosh channel will never even reach 1,000 subs. All this kind of stuff. Yeah, it was. I was fucking terrified of that. But it probably didn't help whenever I was like that, and then I was getting terrified of the thought of thinking what was wrong with me. Then it was probably getting worse. But yeah, I mean, listen, that was a very long conversation of me babbling on about what the fuck was wrong with me and all that kind of stuff. But this is the thing as well, right? I really do want to keep this Boosh channel going, and I have a lot of aspirations, right, to do YouTube, and I have a lot of aspirations to do all this stuff, right? And I really, really do want to, but you know, of course, sometimes I get too fucking busy to do this shit. So hang tight with the Boosh channel. I'm gonna try and get one every week, but I'll try and keep you guys updated. If not, go over to the Discord server in the link in the description, or just comment something reminding me I've got to make a video or some bullshit. I don't know. But listen, that was my little, you know, conversation or some bullshit. I don't know. That was just my rant, right? But I'm gonna try and make another video this week. But listen, thank you very much. My name is Bosh, and I shall see you later.